Look at this subbitch.
Have you told Don?
You're in charge, sweetheart.
Yeah. Look at her scared. Oh, no, she likes the idea of having to tell Don. That's right. You're my bitch. He's unhappy. But he wants her on his side because he knows there's been a lot of animosity. He's going to use her as a buffer between him and Don.
Yeah. He never leaves.
Yeah. That is odd, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to make him come to me. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about being in a power position. Let me make myself a drink.
Mark, please don't be bad. You're so trim.
There you go.
Miss Olson would like...
She's the best secretary ever.
No, I'm to send you in.
Yeah. That's right. See, that's actually a smart decision because you got to reestablish that this is a new dynamic. If you go to him, then that means he's in charge.
You want to see?
Can I offer you something?
It was a long walk.
He's not going to be a minion for long.
I don't know if you heard the rumor, and that's why I wanted you both on my team.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
How long do we have?
That's right.
25 tags should get the ball rolling.
I'll get right on it.
A piece.
Yes, a piece. Start writing, Don. Look at him. He's pissed.
What's the strategy?
Lou likes to start with the tags and then sneak up on the strategy.
Really? That's a terrible way to do it. Look at him choking on it.
Well, that'll
He's
do it.
choking on this. Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you,
not
Mike.
shaking your hand. Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah. That went down like charcoal. You goddamn right. It made her happy. But see, if he goes throwing things and cussing, she can hear him. She's right there. She fucking heard that. Yeah, you goddamn right. I was kidding, man. I didn't know he was actually going to throw shit. How dare they? This is outrageous. Did I see that right? That like he originally threw away the Mets pennant, but it's up on the wall now. Mad in the motherfucker.
How was your weekend?
Lonely. How was yours?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Real. That's why I asked.
A meeting with Miss Olson and the burger chef research came in.
Excellent. Of course, he's done no work this weekend. He might surprise me, but I suspect he's done nothing this weekend.
Is he in?
Yes.
Oh, so he's just checking up on him. He didn't even want to see him.
Oh, good.
Don't act like you were looking for me. I was looking for you. I need coffee. I didn't sleep last night.
Mona called, and I'm supposed to read you this message.
Here we go.
Hey, genius! Brooks is in jail in Kingston.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
From now on, you don't listen to her.
Yeah, you needed to know this, asshole.
No matter what you order, they give you a side of spaghetti. Even if you order spaghetti.
That is stupid.
Burger chef does?
No. Vito's.
Oh. Look at her. She's pissed.
I can go get them.
He's in there actually doing his job for once. Because he didn't do it all weekend. Oh, really? Are you serious?
It's time for the meeting.
I can't make it.
Oh,
Are you fucking serious?
do you want me to turn in your tags?
Nope.
Okay.
That son of a bitch in there playing solitaire. So it's a power move. You've got to be shitting me. I thought he was going to play ball, man.
What? That's what he said.
She's about to go bust his head.
I guess he's not ready. I mean, we did just get the research.
She's gonna walk in there and he's playing solitaire.
I would really appreciate a chance to beef these up, as it were. I mean, if Don's going to get more time.
Yeah, no, denied. Tell them to me now.
Why don't we move the meeting to the end of the day? And you give me what you've got now plus 25 more.
Oh shit.
That's going to be 50.
But now you have the research.
These are terrible. You should have done these with research. This son of a bitch. You brought her? Why would you bring her?
I don't want this turning into the guiding light the moment we get there.
The guiding light. Oh yeah, I forgot about that show.
How much cash do you have?
Why don't you reach in and check?
This son of a bitch is always on, man.
Brooks spend another day in the slammer. He'll just get in the way.
No, obviously. I meant we should spring him on the way back.
That was smart. They're on the same page.
And what was he supposed to do?
He was supposed to get in a fight with those hippies, not some rednecks in a bar 3 hours later.
Good point. This was stupid.
You liked him.
I thought he was good enough for the time being.
Damn, a starter husband.
I wanted her to wait like I did.
You only waited because I wasn't available.
Damn.
Well, look how that worked out.
Wonderfully.
What was she supposed to... I hope she's not a drug addict.
That's
Yeah,
probably
they
it.
usually stay... It's probably another man who probably has...
Of course you would think that. I think it's just about the religion, man.
I mean, what psychiatrist is Ellery going to be telling one day about the weekend his dad was in...
New wave religion was fucking all the rage in the 60s, man. People got swept up. I can totally see that.
I haven't seen her in a while because the last time I did, she was so cruel and so serene
It was weird.
and a little bit philosophical.
Yes.
It's the religion, dumbass. Look at this subbitch. This is what they've been calling lately, the last few months I've been seeing this term, quiet quitting. He's essentially quiet quitting.
You have a light mine crapped out on.
Look at these two becoming friends.
Harold's human error. Forgot to fill it.
Human error. I like that.
I have an advertising question.
Have a seat. Close the door.
I started Lease Tech with 2 old friends, and 6 months later, we have 19 new employees and 3 new competitors.
Yeah, but are you rich or broke?
Don't yours become obsolete?
Well, they all become obsolete eventually. How long does that
Right,
take?
exactly.
IBM doesn't care because it.
At this point, I usually ask, how did you get into this business?
Look at him working this shit.
I've worked with these machines. I know how
I
resilient.
fuck these machines on the side.
Junkyard in 2
These
years.
machines are excellent.
So you're... They don't have you. And they don't advertise.
Interesting.
Very nice.
He's good at what he does.
Thanks for the light. Pleasure to talk to you.
You're going to give me the name of a good key punch service.
Key punching. That's ridiculous.
When's Roger back from lunch?
He's gone for the day.
Oh, shit. Now who am I going to talk to? There's only one person here who likes me anymore. You better take your shoes off.
Lease Tech. The company we're leasing the computer from. Somebody else. I mean, the Apple is right there.
You have a fundamental misunderstanding of what went wrong.
Really?
Thought there was going to be a big creative crisis and we'd pull you off the bench. But in fact, we've been doing just...
Why so much animosity, man?
Why are you here?
Because I started this agency.
Along with a dead man whose office you now inhabit.
Oh, that's not very nice. Damn, man, there's so much animosity here. I just don't understand. I understand the other people, but why Cooper? Why does Cooper specifically have so much animosity? Fuck it, I'm going to get my drink on. They can fire my ass. What the hell is that? Well, you can't afford booze?
Thank you, Caroline. I got it.
That's just mean. Oh, okay. So he wants to hide the booze in here. Okay, I thought he was taking it home with him. Really, dude? Really? Straight out the bottle like a fucking animal. By the way, it's probably a good time to talk about this. It's fascinating to me, and this is probably more interesting to me than it is to anybody else. I totally didn't clock that he's an alcoholic. That's what's fascinating. Like, you know, and clearly the show is saying he's an alcoholic. But it never clocked it because, and I think that's just a flaw on my part. It's a weakness in the way I see things, right? I mean, both my parents were alcoholics. All 4 of my grandparents were alcoholics. At least 1, probably 2 of my siblings are alcoholics. So I always thought I was going to be an alcoholic. I thought I had the alcoholic gene, right? That's why I never drank. You know, if you ever wonder why did I not start drinking until Dad died? Like, I would have a social drink every now and then. Like, you know, probably 3 or 4 times a year I'd have 1 or 2 margaritas. Two at the most, right? I'd never go beyond 2. Specifically because I thought I was an alcoholic. Because my parents were, my grandparents were, siblings were, etc., right? So, and the only time I'd be with clients or, you know, usually like investors or something, and they would offer me a drink, we'd be out, they want to buy me a drink, and so, like, it's stupid to say Diet Coke, right? So, like, that's essentially what I started doing. I found out I like margaritas, I would have one, right? You can nurse it and shit, right? So, after Dad died, I started drinking a lot. I was like, well, fuck it, let me just be an alcoholic then, right? And I discovered I don't have the alcoholic gene. You know, it's like I can turn it on and off, stop and start, like, you know, it's just not a big deal, right? And it's all genetics. Like, you're either born with an alcoholic gene or you're not, and I wasn't. Even though genetically you would think I would be, like I said, everybody in my family. So I think that gave me a flaw as far as like, I can literally, my job is I combine alcohol with work, and I can stop. And I have my, never drink 2 days in a row rule and all that shit, right? I've been kind of loosened because of my recording schedule these days. But like for the first couple years of me doing this, I had a very strict policy, never drink 2 days in a row. So I guess that's what I thought he was doing. Like, how we always project ourselves onto the characters, right? And I always saw his, like, womanizing as bad. But I never saw his drinking as bad. Because I combine drinking and work. He combines drinking and work. And we would see him get, like, super smashed a couple times. But I never, like, all the stereotypes you see, the alcoholic stereotypes. Throwing up all over the place. Waking up on the street. Getting into bar fights. Whatever the stereotypes are. Like, I'm sure, like, Hollywood never... Like I said, my parents were alcoholics. But Dad stopped when I was 7. I don't remember him as an alcoholic. And Mom just would get sad. She would never get mean or abusive or, like some of the really dark parts of, like, alcoholism, right? So, I think I kind of have, even though, like, I've been surrounded by it, and my siblings were assholes whether or not they were drinking. So that never seemed to be a component. And plus, I understand that, like, drinking doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you are. So I guess I kind of have rose-colored glasses a little bit on what alcoholism is. Weirdly, given my life experience. So I never clocked that he's an alcoholic and that's a bad thing, right? I never clocked that. So that was very weird to discover that at the end of last season. It's like, oh shit, this is what they've been doing for 6 years. And I know I probably sound like the biggest idiot in the world, but like, I've just explained why I thought the way I did and why I didn't pick up on it. Like, I guess because his womanizing was so in our face and was so destructive that it was hard to see the second destructive thing that he was also doing right in front of our faces the entire time, at least for me. So, I mean, I guess he's what they call a functioning alcoholic. And I know Dan Harmon, through the mouth of characters on Community, would say, what the hell is a functioning alcoholic? Well, like, as I said there, functioning alcoholic is a thing. One of my grandmothers remarried, and she married a functional alcoholic, and he would, he was in the Navy, and he would only drink on weekends. He worked Monday through Friday at some naval base somewhere, and he was off Saturday and Sunday. And so, starting Friday night, he would drink straight through to Sunday night, and then he would just not drink the rest of the week. But he was an alcoholic, right? And so he couldn't stop, but he would only drink when it wouldn't inhibit his work. So maybe there's a different classification. Maybe it's like a tier 3 alcoholic, if you want to call it that. Like, maybe functioning alcoholic's offensive just on the face of it. I don't know. But, like, he was clearly an alcoholic. Everybody agreed that he was. Not anybody who was a medical doctor, I guess, who could actually diagnose it. But, like, everybody seemed to agree he was. But he only drank when it wouldn't impact his work in the Navy. Now, having said that, he was in the Navy for, like, 27 years. He never got above, I think, an E5. Where Dad got to an E8 in the first 13 or 14 years of his career. Very early on. He did 20, right? And he got out of 20 because you can't go any further than E8 without becoming an officer, and he didn't want to become an officer. So, my step-grandfather, essentially, I think, it was never made specifically clear, but I think his drinking did impact his work on some level because he would get, like, he'd become an E7 and get busted down to an E6, or he'd become an E6 and get busted down to an E5. He kept going up and down, right? And nowadays the military has a thing where, like, if you don't achieve ranks at certain ages, they drum you out. They're like, okay, well, you're not good enough, clearly. I guess they didn't really do that back then, and also there was, like, the Vietnam War was going on back then, And I think, actually, the time period I'm talking about was after Vietnam War. But, like, they just got rid of the draft, and I think they had to keep the people they had until they can get enough volunteers and shit. They had to change the way they did things, bring in an influx. So, he just had it timed perfectly where he didn't get drummed out. But anyway, so the point is, he was a functioning alcoholic. It did affect his career advancement, but it didn't get him fired. And the family stayed together. And he's still alive to this day, by the way. Like, my grandmother just recently passed away. And I saw a photo. He's still alive. So he survived her. And I think he eventually got off the drink at some point. It's been years since I've talked to that side of the family, but I think yes. So, yeah, I just find that interesting. That I didn't clock it, but it was right there in front of our faces, and you can't blame the show for this. Like, it's clearly my fault I didn't clock this. So, but yeah, this is probably going to get his ass fired. So, like, he'll probably end up on the West Coast because he gets drummed out here. He can't do it. He can't handle it, man. It's about his ego. I really thought he could play ball, and then in the course of playing ball, he would like his gravity is such that he's bending everything. He's bending all the light around him. Like in the process of playing ball, like we saw with House. I keep making the House comparison because they would do this with House every now and then. They would demote him, but he would still be in charge. Like the magnetism of his sheer force of personality and level of experience and amount of talent would bend everything around him and make life hell for everybody he was like supposedly working for. But he's not even going to play ball because his ego won't let him. So yeah, like that's a completely different issue.